Greetings everybody, coming to you from my 2014 Mercedes-Benz GLK250 Bluetec. And in this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Blackstone oil analysis I had done. At the end of the video, I'll post the actual report, but I wanted to talk a little bit about it for those of you who are interested in this sort of thing. So I went 13,500 miles, and that was largely based on pretty much every single one of my trips is like at least a half hour, if not longer. A lot of highway driving, always warming the engine up, and I actually thought that was a little too short. The TBN came out at 3.0, so there was actually still a lot of life left on the oil at 13,500. Could probably actually get away with significantly more miles with the type of driving I do. I did a video about long oil change intervals, but I back up what I say with testing like that. Now, everything was within normal ranges, except a couple interesting trends developed. I did my first oil change after 11,000 and change, and that was on Mobile 1. That was not what I chose. That was changed by the dealer I bought the car from. It was the correct Mobile 1 ESP. But that, from what I've found, is not nearly as good of oil as people think it is. The TBN, even after just 11,000 miles, was pretty low. It was like 2.1. I used the what's it called, the Lubermoly oil. It'll be on the screenshot at the end. That's a really good oil, and the TBN being 3.0 even after that many miles was great. So the interesting trends are, after the first oil change, there was some fuel in the oil, 1.5%. I wasn't sure what could be causing that, and I just thought, well, let's go ahead and just watch that and see what happens. So the fuel dropped down to a trace. So whatever kicked the fuel in the oil the last time, maybe that had something to do with the way the prior owner was driving it. Maybe they did a lot of short trips and unburnt fuel and whatever, and that was just what was left over. And then my style of driving alleviated that. So that's one thing. The more notable thing is, they stated that they thought there might be some coolant contamination in the oil, and they listed antifreeze percent at 0.15%, but they made a note that the sodium went way up. It was like 74 parts per million, but the potassium didn't go up that much. So that was kind of, they always say those go hand in hand, so that was kind of odd that the sodium went way up but the potassium didn't. But I have a theory as to what's going on there. During the middle of that oil change run was when I had all that work done under warranty, where they replaced the intake manifold. So they had a whole bunch of stuff apart. Now, I don't know. I know they drained the coolant to do that job. So, and I don't know what all they disconnected. I don't know if there's something that has coolant and oil together that they disconnected, and when they put it back together, maybe a trace of coolant. I'm going to do a little acceleration here. Maybe a trace of coolant got in there or something. I have a feeling that the next time I have an analysis done, that number is going to drop back down. But we'll see. I mean, I've got a ways to go. It'll be several months. I still intend to have this as my primary driver. I've got a few road trips coming up, which will get me up in the miles faster. I'm coming to a stop here. Let's go ahead and real quick check where I'm at right now. 8,200. So I've gone about 1,800 since I've changed it, and actually haven't checked it since I changed it. I should probably do that. I just basically put whatever it said in the owner's manual and filled it up and never checked it. Not well advised. I have to try to remember to park it on level ground. Check it the next couple days. I'm sure it'll be fine. I don't even know if this car has any warnings like some of the older Benzes and newer Benzes, which would tell you if you had too little or too much oil in it. Oh, the other thing too, in 13,500 miles, I did not have to add any oil at all. I'm gonna turn the heat down. It's getting a little warm in here. It was maybe down a half quart in 13,500 miles, so oil consumption is pretty much zero. So that was pretty cool, because I know a lot of engines, it's perfectly normal for them to go through a quart every 1,000 miles, and it's perfectly in the realm of normal. But I just think it's, even with the miles on this car, it's pretty wild that it I didn't need to add any oil over that long interval. And I checked it maybe every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. I checked it 3 or 4 times. I checked it way more frequently after I first did the oil change, until I established, hey, this thing isn't using any oil. And that partly was accounted for by some leaks too. It does leak a little bit of oil. Not enough to hit the ground. I don't even think it was enough to even get in the pan underneath the car. But yeah, it definitely was like the intake system was kind of coated with oil. I'm not sure what all's up with that. Anyway, so just thought I'd share that for those of you who are interested in this sort of thing. All right, have a great day, everyone. All right, here's the oil analysis. I'm just gonna scan that. You can pause it and study that. Just zoom out and get the whole thing. Yeah, there you go. So that's a lot of what I talked about earlier in the video.